Once again, members and friends of the Slinfold Horticultural Society ventured on a short holiday to Europe, this time visiting the Black Forest in Germany. At 6 a.m. on Sunday 25th of April, we boarded the coach that was to be our transport throughout the next 5 days. After a stop at Maidstone for breakfast, we boarded the 11 a.m. ferry at Dover for a calm crossing to Calais. After a rather long journey, we arrived at our hotel in Cale Court, and after a very welcome meal, we were ready for our beds. Next morning, there was an opportunity to explore the village. Next door to the hotel was the Rat House or Town Hall. The War Memorial is in a pleasant setting next to the church, with a clock which has the unusual feature of striking the hours consecutively with 2 different tone bells. This farmhouse is still decorated with sweet corn, which is hung on the barn as a thanksgiving for a good harvest. The village, which is just over the French border from Strasbourg, has many attractive half-timbered houses, mostly quite large, and which have been handed down from generation to generation. family of storks are regular inhabitants of the village. This pair make their nest at the top of a tall, disused factory chimney, where they could be seen attending their offspring. As in many towns and villages in the area, many houses have colourful murals, and many gardens have fine collection of conifers. This preserved wooden structure appears to have been some kind of press, probably used in winemaking. And the water wheel was part of a mill, now used as an English-style pub. Our first visit on the Monday morning was to the elegant spa town of Baden-Baden, surrounded by hills and pine woods, which make it a veritable sun trap. We strolled through the Kurhaus and Casino gardens, with their fine fountains and colourful display of spring bedding. The casino is the oldest in Germany, having been visited in the past by Kaiser Wilhelm I, Bismarck, Berlioz and Brahms. The curtains at the windows are made up from hundreds of fine chains. However, Baden-Baden became internationally famous for its springs that gush out of the Friedrichsbad at a temperature of 69 degrees centigrade. Most of us sampled a taste of the waters at the Trinkhalle, or drinking hall, which is decorated with a large number of fine wall paintings. Inside, the waters emerge from several copper pipes, around which there is a souvenir shop. In the gardens outside stands a bust of Kaiser Wilhelm I. A stroll around the town brings us to this steep alley where there is this large statue of Bismarck. After some refreshment, we make our way back to the coach through the Kurhaus Gardens with its fountains and canal. We drive through spectacular mountain and forest scenery along the Baden Wine Road to Mummelsee, which is still partly frozen following a heavy snowfall in the previous week. By the lake is a modern church with some fine stained glass windows. Our next stop is for a wine tasting at a type of cooperative where the grapes are brought in from a number of small growers. At the end of the tasting, there was opportunity to purchase wines in the shop.
Very sensible, I thought. He used to come and talk to us. Yeah, I
So, meine Damen und Herren, ich darf Sie recht herzlich in der Winzergenossenschaft Zellweierbach willkommen heißen und begrüßen. Zellweierbach ist ein Teilort von Oberburg mit ca. 300 Einwohnern.
Right. I'd like to welcome you to Zellweierbach and the Winzergenossenschaft, or the wine vintners of this area. The area itself has a total of 3,000 inhabitants and is a part of Offenburg. The first wine you had was a Müller-Thurgau, a Cabernet wine. All the wines that we're trying today are Cabernet wines. And as you can see, it's for the World Cup. That's just to rub our noses in it. And that's why they can score at penalties and we can't. You can obviously tell you've got a rosé wine. It's a medium, and it's from the year 96. This is their new baby, so to speak. It's something they're only just starting and trying to make their very own. It's produced mainly for younger people, and what they're doing is to get people to drink it. They're putting it in these lovely red bottles. Ideal, aren't they? I mean, the bottle alone makes you want to buy this. And also, this is your dinner for this evening.
Der nächste Wein ist jetzt Kerner Kabinett 6.
Again, the year 1996. This time it's a Kerner Cabinet. It's a sweeter wine, again a medium to sweet. You can tell that by the neck of the bottle, the top part, the colour is white. For the drier ones, the colour would be yellow. Alright, anyone guessed? That is not cherries?
Blackcurrant.
No! Blueberries!
Oh.
Blueberry wine. Okay. How this wine came about was that Georg Thoma, who was Germany's answer to Eddie the Eagle in the Olympic Games of, we can't remember, helps to sell some of the wines produced from this area, or made in this area, and in return they help him manufacture his blueberry wine. It's 8.5% alcohol volume, so it's not very much. It's like a glass of Ribena for most of you. Unlike the white wines, which have an alcohol content of between 11 and 12.
Press on that cat's face. You've got Jeffrey there. Oh, yeah, that was so more. That tiny.
After a good meal back at the hotel, an evening of crazy darts had been organised.
Black line, all ladies with black skirts may start from black line. Yes, 9 with the first. Another 9. And half a point. 18 and a half for Betty. Sheila's next. Oh, Sheila. 13 with the first. And 3. And 8. 24.4 Sheila. Irene.
Come on, I'll change it. Can she stand on the stool, please? She's only little.
A bit more to the left, half point with the first, 6 points with the second, another 6. 12 and a half points for Irene. Irene with the first for Bill. Center point 25 and another 14. 53 points. A bit more down, half point with the first, half point with the second, one left. Yes, that's it.
I can't stand on one leg. Oh, well, I will quickly.
Oh, 10 points with the first. A bit more up, the third one. That's it, and 13. 23 and a half points for Patty. Very well done. Sheila's next. Sheila, you know what to do? Right hand to the left ear, yes, and right leg up, and we throw with our left hand. No more beer for Sheila. A bit more up, 1 yard up, the next one. Yes, that's it. 3 points with the second. And another double 19. 41 points for Sheila. Right hand to the left ear and right leg up. Like the dying swan, that's it. But from the black line, Yes, 15 with the first. Another half point. And another half a point. 16 points for Irene. Bill next. Yes, perfect. And the right leg up. Bit more up. Bill, next one. Oh, 1 dot into the heating system. And another 3.5 points for. Oh, not bad, but a bit more to the right, the next one. A bit more up, but already 1 point for Doris. Yes, that's it, and another 20.
That's better.
$18 points for the first and 20. 38 and a half. This is 77 points for Betty. 77, and we go with Sheila. down, the next one, that's it, 19, and number 14, 33 and a half, this is 67 points for Sheila, 67. Irene's next.
He's going to vanish under this chair. Take his glasses on. Put them off, Alina.
Well, she needs one though, so how's she got?
Oh, Robert!
Oh, okay, which is the way?
Give me the glass!
Irene with the typical Black Forest outfit. Double eight, a bit more to the right. And 2 times half, the point is 17 times 2, 34 points. 34 for Irene, and we got...
Bill's retired injured, so I'll have to be substitute.
I see, Bill's retired. And what's your name?
George.
George. George will have a turn for Bill instead of Bill.
Bill's not well. I don't know what you did to him, but...
Give me the glass! Give me the glass!
Is this Doris? Doris next, yes.
Forward, forward, forward.
A bit more to the left. Yes, that's it. 2 points. And another 13. 15 and a half. This is 31 points for Doris. Bill's next. George, sorry.
George. They're coming, hang on a minute. There they are. Get away, Doris.
Are you still there, Doris?
A bit more down, down. That's it. Oh, nearly, but I'm lucky, only 1 point. And another 18. This is 19 and a half.
The following morning we set off for the cuckoo clock making area of Treeberg, with a stop en route at Big Willie, recorded in the Guinness Book of Records as the largest cuckoo clock. At Treeberg, coffee and Black Forest Ghetto were a must, followed by a visit to Clock Village, a shop containing hundreds of cuckoo clocks and other tempting souvenirs. From Treeberg, a short drive brought us to Titisee, where a leisurely trip was taken on the lake. The lake is 1¼ miles long, and to prevent pollution, any motorboats are powered by electricity.
Robin's got a best side.
And 20 degrees Celsius during the swimming season.
The whole lake freezes over. So August the 20th to the 20th. What is it? 1816. 816 metres above sea level.
Much higher than Slough.
The village of Titisee is a popular modern tourist centre for the forest, having many cafes, boutiques and souvenir shops. Our final visit of the day is to Freiburg, where we arrive in a thunderstorm. The Minster is the only German cathedral which achieved its final form in the Middle Ages, the year of completion being recorded as 1513. Outside it's still raining, but we have a glimpse of some of the old buildings, most of which have been restored from the bombing of 1944, when most of the old town was destroyed. The 381-foot high filigree-like spire, which surmounts the more solid tower of the Minster, is an architectural marvel created in 1330. On Thursday, the last day of our stay, we travelled across the Rhine into France to the city of Strasbourg, home of the European Parliament. It stands on the left bank of the River Rhine at its intersection with the River Eel. The Cathedral of Notre Dame was built on the foundations of an early Romanesque church begun in 1015. The west front is of red Vosges sandstone. The interior has beautiful stained glass, including the representation of 21 German emperors and kings. The west front contains a fine rose window. The famous astronomical clock by Tobias Stimmer, finished in 1584, has a mechanism of about 1840. In the south transept is the Angel's Pillar of 1240. And the organ of 1716 is by Andreas Silbermann. After leaving the cathedral, there was time for a coffee and a stroll round part of the city with its fine old buildings, a carousel in the square, and a modern tramway. path along the bank of the Ill took us back to the coach for a short journey to Colmar. At Colmar, we have a tour on the Noddy train, which enabled us to have a quick look at some of the fine architecture of the old town. Its narrow winding streets contain many burghers' houses of the 16th and 17th centuries. Here we glimpse Daphne and Margaret ordering some refreshment. After a snack, we have time for a brief walk before catching the coach back to the hotel. This is the House of Heads, a fine Renaissance building of 1609. At dinner, George is presented with a bottle of whiskey for his birthday on the following day.
Oh, nice. We're going to get one all the way back.
Yeah. Very nice.
Oh, yes. That's about everybody to watercraft. Yeah, keep it going if you want.
Should do. Should do.
In the evening, there are some fun and games in which our party seem to be the main participants.
5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop, 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 stop. So, when I get the color, every lady gets a napkin, not for the nose, only for the fingers, of course. To the others, just let the color dry. This is children's color. After it has dried, it can be easily washed away with water. Have you got a napkin? So, now we have to count the points for the candidates. And meanwhile they were cleaning their fingers. I counted the points. We counted the points. And these were, oh, I forgot you, that's right. We have 27 red points. Red, who was red? Sheila, our lady with the red nose, 27 points. We had 27 yellow points. Yellow, Yuki, 27. And for our lady with the blue nose, I counted 27 points. For our second game, you need a gentleman as a partner. Every one of you need a gentleman as a partner. Betty has got a gentleman and a chair. Can you pick up a chair, please? And a chair. George will assist Yuki on in this chair. The gentleman has to sit on the chair. Can we move this away? You need small chairs. Yes. What's your name? Les will assist Sheila. Sheila, yes. And Alex. Alex will assist Betty. That's right. The candidates, please, in front of the gentleman. The gentleman, please cross your hands on the back. It's very important to put the glasses away for this dangerous game. No, you can keep the glasses on. That's right. Yes, you can keep the glasses on. The hands, you have to cross your hands on the back. Both hands. And you leave your hands there till the game is over. And your duty, gentlemen, your duty is to count the points for your candidate. You have to count the points. What you have to do, I show you.
Super, those two. And I think the tonic actually comes out to this corner for Les.
And of course, some of these gentlemen, Steve perhaps will help Sheila. And of course, this nice gentleman, Robin will help Yuki. I just know what to do. This was wrong, I have to do it again. I will assist Betty, Steve will assist Sheila, and Robin will assist Yuki. So we blow up the balloons and then... And then we have to smash them. And for this game we have got 25 minutes. 2 minutes. points. As many points as possible. For every destroyed balloon, you get 2 points. 2 minutes. So, some balloons for Betty. Some balloons for Sheila.
Get your helper to blow them up.
And some balloons for Yuki.
I'll tell you.
I assume we're blown up. I think.
And we start right now. A proposal for the gentleman, please close your knees.
Robin's got one. Yuki, Robin's got one.
How many destroyed balloons for? How many destroyed balloons for Betty? About 10, 12. How many balloons for Sheila? 11. How many balloons for Yuki? 9. So we take the average. This is 10. So 20 points for every candidate. 20 points for Sheila, 20 points for Betty, 20 points for Yuki. Thank you to our assistants on the chairs. Thank you very much. As many shots as possible. Quick, quick, quick. Another minute. 1 more minute. Next up we take women's shirts as well. Women's shirts. As many shots as possible. Quick, quick, quick. Just 1 more. Another 15 seconds. Quick, quick, quick. As many shots as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. And now, of course, we have to count. We begin with Betty's basket. 1, 2, we just leave it on the chair. 3. 3 points for Betty. 1. 2 points for Yuki. 2 points for Yuki. How many points for Sheila? 1. 1, 2, 3. What's that? Sheila from Brown. Thank you, sir, but we cannot count that. Thank you very much. We cannot count that. 4, 5. Oh no, this is Jordan. This is Jordan. 5 points for Shirley, for Sheila. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This was the end of our women's game. Now you can come and collect your things over here. And please don't change names. And our Miss Travelsky 1999 is Sheila. Sheila, congratulations. And a housemaid schnapps for you. Silver medalist. Only 1 point behind. This is Betty and Yuki. Same point. And Yuki, housemaid schnapps for you. Thank you very much. For our next game, I need 3 gentlemen. We need you for the next game, sir. And number 2. And hello. And the cousin cry, Brian.
I've got you. I've got you. Sorry about that.
Very well then, Brian.
Yeah, I'll take the picture.
Linda, give
No, the other way.
Have you found it again? Have you found it? Must be somewhere here. Have you found it? Where is it?
Friday morning, and sadly, it's time to start the journey home.
I lost the whole lot, but they...
Oh yes, of course you are. Yes, of course.
I'm here for the 6 weeks, and then I'm back home for 10 days.
Are you far from your home where you
Well,
picked
we're
up?
actually at St Leonard's.
Are you? Oh, right. Yeah.
The old town, you know.
I know, yeah. That's all right.
We'll probably get a crash. Keep on daughters off.
Alright, I'll see you. I'm going to get you on my carry.
No, of course you don't, but sure.
We arrive at Calais just in time to catch the 4 p.m. ferry for Dover. The crossing is not quite so smooth as the outward one, but we arrive back at Slinfold ahead of schedule at 8 p.m. after another very enjoyable trip. Our thanks to George for organising the holiday so well, and the question everyone would like answered, where are we going next year?